and go to blueprints.amazon.com. And what you get here is, again, a very simple step-by-step way to create your personal Alexa skills in a couple minutes. Hey everyone, this is Hassan Osman from VoiceEnvy.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how Alexa can help your kids study for their quiz or test or anything they're having trouble with. So I have a daughter that goes to 3rd grade, and every once in a while she gets a quiz that she has to study for, and she gets what's called study guides. So this is an example of one, an actual example that she has to study for. And this is about history, so the 13 colonies study guide is what it says, and it comes with a bunch of facts and bullet points on there. And what I usually do is every night before the test, assuming it's in like 10 days, is we sit down with her and we try to guide her through those different facts and question whether she does understand the concept or not. And so what I thought is, how can I leverage Alexa to help us with that, to help her maybe, have a more interactive experience, as well as help mom and dad save a little bit of time in terms of going over those on a daily basis. And the way you do that is through what's called Amazon or Alexa, I should say, skill blueprints. And those are templates basically that help you customize your experience with Alexa by creating what are called skills. So if you're not familiar with the term, skills are basically what apps are to an iPhone, right? So your iPhone, for example, comes with basic functionality right outside of the box, but then you can add or download apps to increase that functionality for you, depending on what you'd like. Similarly, Alexa comes with a built-in voice assistant that does pretty much a lot out there in terms of functionality, but you can also add what are called skills to help enhance that experience for you. And there are different types of skills, but skill blueprints are things you can customize only for yourself, meaning you can download or create those skills for your own devices. They won't work on anyone else's platform or devices, just on yours. And this is what we're going to be using to create flashcards or study guides to help your kids with their quiz or test or what have you. And the way you do that is very simple. Basically just head to your browser and go to blueprints.amazon.com. And what you get here is, again, a very simple step-by-step way to create your personal Alexa skills in a couple minutes. You basically pick a blueprint, fill in the blanks, and use your skill. And of course, there's a lot of skills here. There's World's Best Mom. This is for Mother's Day, game show, trivia, house guest, quite a number of them. And I'll probably be creating a few videos later on about some of those. But where you need to go to is under Learning and Knowledge for flashcards. And that is what we're going to be using to help your kid with their quiz. So if I click on that, you get the page where you can immediately just click on Make Your Own, but it gives you a sample of how this sounds like. And maybe we can just walk through a few seconds here.
Alexa, open my flashcards.
Welcome to my flashcards. The big test is coming up. Study as much as you can before then. Which mode would you like? Review or test?
Review.
All right, I'm going to pause this here for a second and just say that there are 2 modes in flashcards. There's something called review and something called test. And the difference between the two is that with review, it tells you the questions that you create as well as the answers right after. It pauses just for maybe a second or so and gives you the answer. Whereas with test mode, it gives you the question and then waits for you to give an answer. And then based on your answer, it's either correct or incorrect, and it tallies up the score for you. So it's really cool in that sense. I'm not going to go through the rest of the example. I'm just going to head over to Make Your Own. So we're going to click on that. And it comes pre-populated with some examples, right? So the topic name here, when you open the Alexa skill or the skill, Alexa tells you the topic. It was preloaded with capitals, Alabama, Montgomery, what have you. We're going to change that because my daughter has her assignment about the 13 colonies. I did copy paste a few text here just to kind of save time. So I'm going to enter 13 colonies there. And then what you see here is cards. And on this page, we have 4 cards. So here's the first cards. Here's the second cards. Here's the third cards. And here's the fourth cards. And it comes pre-populated with examples that you can change But just so I show you how this works, you can basically close those out very easily. So let's close this one, and this one, and we'll just keep one open, right? So we'll start with the first question, and really we can delete all of those, the term, definition, and hint, and enter whatever we want. So term is really just the question, and definition is just the answer, right? So in most cases, flashcards are about single word questions and answers, but in our case, we're going to use more or lengthier sentences. So what I did was I'm going to pick just three questions, and I created those previously with my daughter. So the first question is about what was the nickname of the middle colonies, and the actual answer is the bread colonies. And I'm going to leave the hint empty for now. You can definitely add one later on. And when you add the first question, you simply click on Add Card to add the next question. And the next question is going to be about what became the largest city in the 13 colonies. The correct answer for that is Philadelphia. Again, this is based on the study guide, and we just kind of came up with the questions together. And then the third question is, what was the first permanent English settlement? And the answer to that is Jamestown. All right, so that's it. We've got the three questions. There are definitely a lot more, but for now, for the sake of this example, we're just going to use those three. After that, you click on Next Experience, and this is where you have some pre-populated data about the welcome message and the exit message. So the welcome message is simply the Alexa greeting. So the first time you open the skill, this is what Alexa says, and you can customize it. We did customize it previously to say the following. The big history test is on Thursday. Study as much as you can before then, right? And then over here is just sort of the opening bell, if you will. So I'm going to play this so you can hear what it sounds like. And my daughter wanted to choose the bicycle bell. So here's how it sounds like. She thought that was cooler. And then every additional time you open the skill, Alexa picks one random message to say. We look through those. You can also, delete them if you don't like them. So she liked the first one, not so much the second. And what she wanted to say was basically that you're doing great. All right. And then scrolling down to card options. This is when you're in review mode, how many times you'd like Alexa to review each question for you, right? The default is 3. We thought that was a little bit too much in terms of the number of times it's going to repeat, so we picked 2. And then on the exit, as a farewell to end the quiz, Alexa says this message: don't forget to study every day until the test. We kind of kept that. And then the background image, if you have one of the devices that has a screen, I don't. I just have the Echo Dot for kids, and the Echo, the main Echo 2nd generation. I don't have anything like the Alexa Echo Show, I should say. If you do, you can select a background image or a color to kind of, make it look a little bit more according to what you like. All right, and then finally, you click on Next. All right, then the third and final step is to basically pick your skill name. So you can keep it as the default, which is Alexa, open my flashcards. You can change this to anything else. Let's say Alexa, open my history flashcards, right? And that way, this is when you'd prompt Alexa or you wake her basically to invoke that skill. And then that's it. You click on Next, Create Skill. And by the way, I should say that I was already pre-logged in, so you can see my name there. But if you weren't, you need to add in your name and password. Then make sure you use the same one that you use for your other Alexa devices around the house. And then you get this prompt that they are creating your skill. It takes a couple of minutes, so just give it some time before it's in the system. All right, so as you can tell, it's ready to use in our device, and all we need to say is Alexa, open my history flashcards to get started. So I do have an echo here. I actually just muted it so that it doesn't pick up on the word Alexa, but I'm gonna unmute this and we'll test it out and see how it goes. Alexa, open my history flashcards.
Welcome to my history flashcards. The big history test is on Thursday. Study as much as you can before then. Which mode would you like, review or test?
Review.
Sure thing. Here's how it works. I'll say questions about 13 colonies with their matching answer several times. I'll pause in between, giving you a chance to answer in your head, or say it out loud. Let's go. First, what was the first permanent English settlement? Jamestown. Again, what was the first permanent English settlement? Jamestown. All right. Next, what was the nickname of the middle colonies? The bread colonies. Again.
So as you can
what
tell,
was
it's
the
going
nickname
through
of the
all the
middle
three
colonies?
questions and repeating them
The bread
twice
colonies.
to just get the
What
kid to
became the
learn
largest
about
city
what
in the
this
13
what the topic is
colonies?
about, right? But of course, you can stop it and
Again,
ask it to do
what
a
became
quiz
the
or a
largest city in
test.
the 13
And this is what I'm going to do
colonies?
right now. Alexa,
Philadelphia. Should I keep going?
start the test.
Sure thing. Here's how it works. I'll ask you questions about 13 colonies. Then you tell me the answers. You can say, I don't know.
So let's go
All
through this.
right,
This is really cool.
let's begin. What became the largest city in the 13 colonies?
Philadelphia.
First try. Exactly right. Next. What was the first permanent English settlement?
I don't know.
That's okay. The correct answer is Jamestown. Next. What was the nickname of the middle colonies?
The bread colonies?
You're quite the brain. That's right. Nice. You've reached the end, and with a score of 2 out of 3. Good work. Would you like to review these cards, or start the test again?
No.
Okay, goodbye.
So as you can tell, the cool thing about it is that it picks up on whether you got the right answer or not, and it tallies this up for you. So I got a score of 2 out of 3, and that helps your kid understand where they are in terms of the number of questions that they're getting right. So overall, I think this is fantastic. You can actually go back and edit this, add more questions, delete some of them, or if there's some that were completely off, you can remodify those as well. They make it really, really easy for you. And I think there are really 3 benefits here that you can gain for you and your kids. The first one is that they get to learn about the technology. So I sat down with my daughter and we went through setting this up on Alexa. And so part of a tacit knowledge gain here is that they get to learn about how voice artificial intelligence works, and it's really cool because it's something they look forward to. Another is that as part of coming up with the questions themselves, as you can tell, the study guides is just a list of facts. So the act of them trying to come up with questions and answers is going to help them also learn the topic a little bit more and the content in a much deeper way, because they're thinking about how they're testing themselves. So that exercise alone, I really think helps from an educational perspective with them. A third benefit is that this actually helps you as well from a time-saving perspective. So, if you got 10 days for the test, instead of spending 10-15 minutes with your kids every night going through this, you can definitely outsource this to Alexa and help her going through some of the quizzing or material. I know some of the folks out there might say, well, this is creating a rift between you and your child. You should be spending that time. I view it differently. I think if you've got 10 days, having 7 out of those 10 with Alexa picking this up, I think that's totally okay. And then the other 3, you sort of spending that quality time. But more importantly, I think the initial investment, the upfront time that you spend creating this and the system and setting it up in blueprints creates a little bit of that interaction with your child to learn about the topic and learn about the technology. So it's a really good investment there as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you do like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. I will be creating a lot more blueprints and other skills in the future. Thank you so much.